It's a nice day out there. The sun came out. Said hi for a minute. Yeah, hit that like, hit that subscribe. You know what to do, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Want to thank you all for tapping in with us this Sunday evening. Appreciate your time, 1,000%. I want to give a big shout out to Steezy. Everybody keep on telling me I'm saying the name wrong. They say it's Stizzy, but I like Steezy, baby. You know, so I'm gonna say Steezy. Looking for some good quality cannabis. I mean, killer quality cannabis. Hit up the folks at Killer Kush. They specialize in bringing you the best quality available from OG to exotics. They got it all. Hit them up at killerkushcali@gmail.com or on IG at killerkush__420. And matter of fact, they got a location right up the street from here, East Los Angeles. They are called East LA Exotics, and they are located at 6009 East Olympic Boulevard. Okay, this podcast is also brought to you by Attorney Nicholas Roseberg. He's a certified specialist in criminal law. Attorney Roseberg is based in downtown Los Angeles. Roseberg specializes defending all strike offenses, firearm and gang allegations, sales of controlled substances. For the latest updates, go to at Attorney Roseberg on Instagram and TikTok. And you know that boy, Attorney Roseberg, is punching back on criminal cases, baby. Okay, OC's new hottest Tijuana taco spot, Suazos, baby. The city of Stanton. Don't play with it. Located at 10338 Beach Boulevard, Staten, California. And also check them out on their IG at Suazos Tacos_OC. All right. Y'all been waiting for this, huh? You guys ready to go? I know you are. Here we go. At the San Gabriel Valley, Southern Califas, the great, the powerful, the godfather of black and gray, the homie, the myth, the soil, the seed to you offsprings. Everybody, give it up for the legend, Freddie Negretti.
Your sandwich?
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, I'm happy you're here, bro. I know we've been talking about this for a cool minute, and finally, you know, we're able to just connect these dots, brother, and I'm very grateful, and I know everybody in this room and everybody that's on the chat right now. They're excited to see you here at Hoodstocks, brother. So thank you as well.
Yeah.
How's life been?
Great.
Yeah?
Busy.
Busy.
Good, yeah.
Slinging that ink, huh?
Yeah, slinging ink. Doing some projects. Got a tattoo show coming up. Got a lot of things in the works, so got to stay busy. Keeps me healthy.
Yeah, 100%, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of like a random question, but so what is it, Monday through Friday you slinging ink?
I take Thursdays and Sundays off, so I'm working 5 days.
5 days a week.
And then I'm trying to do all this other stuff in between, and I'll take a day off here and there, you know, get things done too. But pretty much 5 days a week.
For how long?
You're letting the cold.
I'm down to one tattoo a day.
No, but how many years have you been going at it?
Oh, she got a calculator?
No, but I got 10 fingers.
That's not gonna be enough.
I didn't think so.
But I started tattooing professional 1977. So.
Wow, that's the year I was born, brother.
Was it?
Yeah, February
25th,
1977, baby. Yeah, it was a good year for you and me, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just not happy about that thing that I flew out of, bro. You know. No, that was fucked up.
But actually, I started tattooing like 1969, 1970s, hand poking, 73, 74. Started using homemade machines.
Let's excuse me on this, but I think we're gonna get to that. Let's do this, brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it? I mean, I know you've done a lot of interviews throughout your years, but does it pain you to share your past?
Nah, no, not at all. Even and I try to be candid and open and transparent. I'm willing to talk about, the bad side of my life, the bad parts. And just, I like telling my story, because not only am I, giving a little bit of history,
Yeah.
it was also my generation in the 70s that really brought on, lowrider cars, cholo style, graffiti, and also tattooing, so I've always been at the helm of our Chicano style.
The forefront, correct?
Yeah.
The forefront. Pioneer, baby.
Yeah. So, having talent, I was the hood tiger too,
Yeah.
We roll up on a wall and I'd be the one doing all the spray painting, so, I've always been there in the forefront, and I think that it's important to share that history. If people are interested in our culture, not only our youngsters, but people all over the world. They want to know what happened in East LA. And they're so into our art and our style.
Does that blow your mind seeing dudes from Hong Kong, Vietnam, Japan? There you go, not Hong Kong, Japan. Yeah,
Japan, South Korea. All of Asia, and Europe, Italy. You know what I mean? They love that style.
It's crazy, bro, because the homies out here are trying to be black dudes now, and the dudes over there in fucking Japan are trying to be homies, bro. I don't know what's going on right here, bro. Something in the water, doggy. You know what I mean? I think there might be Kool-Aid coming out of the water hose. I'm not sure, dog.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't get out much, but
that's good, bro. That's good.
I'm sticking with the culture, the Chicano culture.
Yes, sir, bro. And you've done an amazing job, bro.
In reality, when I was a kid in juvenile hall, I remember, my first time going to juvenile hall, I was like 12 years old, ran away, incorrigible, all that stuff. And and went into receiving, and there was just no whites, just blacks and Mexicans, and Mexicans were all cholos, and the blacks were a different style, They wore bright clothes, they had big afros, which that was their style. It was cool, but I think over the years,
Pick up your plate.
our Chicano style also influenced them.
Let's go, baby. I was going to ask you that, bro. Because you know what? I put that. I said, you know what, bro? And I'm just clowning about the Kool-Aid coming out the water hose, bro. Even though we wish it did, you know what I mean? But I have said that because it's a melting pot, and now a lot of homies, they use the N-word and stuff like that, and there's one side that doesn't like it, and there's some sides that are kind of like neutral, like me, bro, that kind of understands it, bro. It's hip-hop, you know what I mean? It sounds cool. But I had put a video out saying that, hey, brothers have taken stuff from us, and these dudes were banging. There were brothers on there like, what are we taking from you besides your women, homie? You know what I mean? Like they were kind of talking some shit in the comments, but it's a fact. Yeah. I mean, we don't need to ram it down your throat if you ain't trying to hear it, but it's a fact, bro. The gang culture, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what was the picture on the old Snoop Dogg album, and he's standing right there, and he has a Pendleton, his khakis, and he's wearing some winos.
Where did that come from?
In front of a 6'4", Chevy lowrider, rag top. That's all us. That's all us. Which is okay. I mean, I remember in juvenile hall, when they first, when the Crips first started, they had a different style too. They were wearing leather jackets. They were looking like kind of New York kind of
like maybe like Black Panthers or something.
Like Black Panthers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but they were influenced. They were taking on this new gang culture. They didn't have no gangs before, and so they were strongly influenced by our Chicano culture. Not only them, just all these immigrants, Armenians, Persians. You know what I mean? Like they're coming into America and they're not relating with the mainstream culture. But man, they relate to our subculture. They relate to our street style. You know what I mean?
Let's go, baby.
And you know that by in prison, Armenians and Russians and some Jews, and they're all Southsiders.
Yeah, shit. My pops is a Russian Jew, bro, and my mom's Mexican. Come on, Let's go. Round of applause for me.
Yeah, my mother's Jewish. You know, my dad's Mexican.
That's dope, bro.
So so my mother, my mom and dad, my dad was gangster from Kern Montevilla. That's one of the oldest Montevillas. My mom was actually from Aloyo Mara, but in Boyle Heights there used to be a Jewish neighborhood.
Yeah,
and this is back in the 40s and 50s. And there were immigrants coming from Europe when all the madness was going on over there with Hitler and stuff. And now they settled right here in Boyle Heights, And there was an uneasy relationship between Hispanics and Jews. They didn't get along, And mainly because the Jews did not like it when their daughters would go the suave pachuco guys.
Shit.
That was the word.
I'd
I
be
think
pissed
that's what
too,
drove
bro.
them out.
I'd be like, fuck.
At Domino's, now you can carry out a one-topping pizza with any of our 5 crust types for only $7.99. And you can order any way you want too, online or by phone. So choose hand-tossed, crunchy thin crust, gluten-free, Brooklyn style, or handmade pan, and your favorite topping for just $7.99 from Domino's.
Fuck them motherfuckers.
And they said, you know what? Bye-bye Boyle Heights. We're out of here. But
Yeah, fucking Hollywood. Beverly Hills, bitch.
that's my mom and my dad's story. My dad was Pachuco gangster, My mom was a daughter of Jewish immigrants, living in Boyle Heights. And
That's amazing,
and
bro.
fell in love with my dad. And she didn't want anything to do with being Jewish, She took on the culture, joined a barrio, Ended up going to prison, for killing some hyena from another hood. But
I saw a little bit of an interview with a zip gun.
yeah, it was a zip gun. Yeah.
With a zip gun, bro.
So how they made the zip guns before, they take a antenna from a car and, clip about that much of it so it's that long.
Stop.
And they,
Throw that
get a
in the
piece of
trash.
wood, put a groove in there,
Did you
mount
guys eat the sandwich?
that tube inside that piece of
better
wood.
eat 'em.
And then, the locks, they put a slide lock with rubber bands and then hold it and just pull it back, put the bullet in there.
Put those in the trash.
And that's how
guys.
she killed that chick
Come
with
on.
the zip
Wow.
gun. So.
Throw them in the trash, Marty.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So mom was a straight gangster. She, like you said, she was an immigrant of Jewish family, and she fell in love with the Chicano lifestyle,
Exactly.
and she ended up living that real. I hate to say it, but that gangster lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
She did time. How much time she do for that?
I think she did back then you didn't get a lot of time for murder.
Yeah.
5 to life was a life sentence, or 5 years was a life sentence. 7 years was a life sentence, and I think she did 10 years or whatever. But I finally met her when I was 14. And I was hardcore gangster, just completely incorrigible. Even in juvenile hall, they kept me in the lockup unit because all I did was fight, bang, and just I don't give a shit about nothing, And, and I was raised in a white foster home, and, they were abusive to us, I had to get the hell out of there. But I joined the hood. I became a crazy gangster, I had more, I felt like I had to prove, because mostly everybody knew me as Fred Barker, you know what I mean? Because it was a white foster home, and I grew up in a white neighborhood, which was close to my barrio,
So you were taking on their last name.
Yeah, they kind of didn't adopt me, They kind of forced it on me, I'm telling you, their thing was, we're going to turn these Mexican kids into white people. First of all, and like I said, they won, foster parent of the year for taking Hispanic kids. But, look, I'm not that dark, what I mean? Why don't you get some real dark Mexicans, take them in, you know what I mean?
They're like, we could really squeeze this dude into the family. Like, they
we
won't
can
even
work
think
with
nothing.
him, he's already light enough,
Yeah. Get over here, little Freddie Barker.
Anyway, so
I'd be pissed too, bro.
I'm in juvenile hall, and then they say you got a visit, and I was like, what? A visit? And they go, they said it's your mother, and your mother's here to visit you, and I knew the foster mom was not going to visit me, and I went out there, and I saw this young lady, she looked young, and she's like, so it was my mom, and she got me out, and I went to go live with her, but she was troubled, very troubled.
I'm a little confused. So you didn't know. I mean, how long were you away from your mom?
From 2.5 till I met her when I was 14.
Wow. So this is when you met her.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
So you were in foster care from 2.5?
yep.
And Pops, I mean, did you know Pops in between
No,
that
you
time?
know, and the thing is, with him, you know, like, I think they stayed in contact with the foster home. His thing was like, okay, my kids they're doing good. They're in a middle class, you know, white family. They're going to have a good upbringing. And they didn't know what was going on, what was really going on, and how we were getting beat and abused, you know.
So the Barkers were beating the foster kids,
Us, yes.
but not their own kids, of course, right?
Oh, no, they had their own daughter there. And, like, my sister was, like, treated like a slave. She had to serve her.
Which was another foster kid.
My sister.
Oh, your sister.
Yeah.
How was your sister? From your mom and your pops.
Yes. She was 2 years older than me. So she was 4, I was 2.
So they pushed you to the foster system together.
Yeah. So we ended, and thank God for that, because, you know, I was just 2 years old, you know. My sister she took me under her wing, and she was like my mother, you know. She nurtured me and cared for me. We're in this abusive situation, you know, like we didn't, you know, we didn't know what was going on. We're just little kids, you know, getting the shit beat out of us, getting treated like.
But what point in age were you at that you understood your circumstances, saying, hey, the Barkers are not my parents are somewhere else? What age was that?
Yeah, so at a pretty young age, you know, they let us know that we were foster children. And they always said that our parents were in the hospital, you know. And, you know, my dad he was an artist, so he would send paintings and stuff like that. So you know, I didn't realize that he was actually in prison till maybe I was like 10, 11. And at that time, that's when I was like standing up to these people, you know what I mean?
You had enough of it.
Yeah, I was rebelling. You know, I was just like, nah, you ain't gonna beat me no more. And I even stood up physically. And then I just started running away, you know, and going to the neighborhood. I joined the hood. And Mexican family, the families over there were so happy to take me and my sister in, you know, and we started.
So your sister would run with you?
I went and got her.
Or you went and got her and
Yeah.
said, hey, we gotta go. I got a spot for us.
When she told me, you know, like she was already a senior in high school, and they dressed her all crazy, cut all her hair off all the time. And I used to tell her, you got to get out of there. You know, I'd go visit her. You know, if they saw me, they'd call the cops, you know. So anyways, my sister, I talked to my sister and she's crying, you know. And she's saying that some boy, you know, like one of the, you know, Mexican kids from the neighborhood was walking her home. And foster mom ran outside and grabbed her by the hair saying, get inside the house, you fucking little whore. You know what I mean? And when she told me that, I went over there and got her out of there. We got her clothes. I told that foster mom, stay the fuck away from me. I don't care if you call the cops. We're going. We're leaving. And I got my sister out of there. And,
Yeah. Sorry about the round of applause, brother. That's a pivotal moment in both your lives, correct?
Yes. Yeah, very much so. But she was always a responsible one and always took care of me. You know, like she got in the hood too, you know, but she always worked. I was always going to jail. When I get out, she'd have an apartment for me already. And she always, and, you know, rest in peace, you know, she passed away just a couple years ago.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah.
Condolences.
What was
her name?
Vicky.
Vicky.
Yeah.
Vicky. Love to Vicky. She's probably looking down, watching you, been watching you through your life, if you do believe in that.
Yeah.
Which I do.
Yeah, that's what keeps me going.
100%. Do you mind me asking what she passed from?
Cancer.
Okay.
Lung cancer.
How old was she?
She was like 68 or 69.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she lived a chunk of her life.
Yeah, and she has, you know, 5 wonderful children. You know, and
she's opening up.
she turned out to be such a great mother. And you know, after all the abuse that she suffered, you know what I mean, she turned it around and became the best mother and grandmother ever.
Amazing. Amazing. So you get your sister out of the foster care. You're going in and out of the system. I mean, how early in the Would you
Desire.
juvenile system?
Yeah.
And I mean, how was it back then in that juvenile system? Where were you
Desire.
at?
Central Juvenile Hall,
Yeah, East Lake.
or East Lake, or Silmar.
Leave her alone.
Okay.
Before it fell, it fell down in the earthquake.
Did it?
So,
Did
yeah.
Silmar fall down
Yeah.
recently?
No, it was
80s.
Yeah. Was it 80s?
Was the Northridge one?
No, it's way
No,
before
no.
that. This is in the 70s, 1971.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they built that bitch back up since.
Did they?
Silmar.
Play on the excavator. He goes.
Yeah,
Silmar,
Silmar.
Yeah.
Now they got a little well, they've been building that. Those new units with the cage around there.
You gotta walk around with your hands in diamond shape, bro. Yeah. Behind your back. Fucking place. Okay. So
So what?
Royal.
So we got into it. I became a crazy homeboy. You know what I mean? And we had our gang war going, with Lomas, and I was very much into
Royal.
that. That's all I cared about. It's just like, and but not only were we at war with, these other vatos. Back then, like from 1973 to through the 80s. I mean, like I got like 30, 40 dead homeboys. You know what I mean? Like once the shooting started and the drive-by started in 1973, and it started right here, Arizona, Montevilla. One of the first shootings and murders was Bobby from Arizona, and the dudes from Rock, Montevilla shot him. And the word got out to all the waters, like what? And then all of a sudden, pap, 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 everybody started capping, and it just went crazy, So
Stop already,
I was very
Royal.
involved in that gang conflict. But at the same time, we were at war with the cops, really. I know, there's things here and there that cops do, but back then these cops were gangsters. You know what I mean? They beat the shit out of you, And the sheriffs, Lomas had to do with the sheriffs. We had these San Gabriel PD, and there was one cop in particular. His name was Billy Joe McIlvain. And this fool, the first time that I ever saw him, he pulled me over, and he's like, he's just standing looking, and the other cop's like, take your, empty your pockets, put your shit on the hood of the car, And I put a rosary right there, and he got that rosary, and he's like, fucking idiot beads, and he threw it on the ground, And I was like, well, you don't believe in God? He goes, oh, I believe in God, but they're idiot bees when a fucking punk-ass Mexican like you is wearing them. And I go, fuck you. And he charged me, and I ran. You know what I mean? And the other cop was kind of in the way. I don't know if he's going to try to stop him, but he chased me. But you can't chase me in my neighborhood because I got that whole place wired up. Is it go over this fence, up this wall, on top of this roof? You know what I mean? Within 3 minutes, I was like 5 blocks away. And then... And that fool was, every time I saw him, I ran. I wasn't going to let him touch any cop. And he was really after me. You know what I mean? And one time he saw me, just parked the car right there, came running after me. I ran to the tracks. I'm running down there. I lost him. And then these other cops got me, boom. And they arrested me. They took me to jail, and I was handcuffed, And this fool comes in, he goes, fuck this job, man. He throws his badge and jumps over the table, starts beating the shit out of me, and I'm handcuffed. And they held him back and everything, and it's funny because
Stop, Royal.
They're arresting me, but they're like, for what are we arresting him for?
Murder this dude's feelings or what?
Because I'm chasing him. Because I've been chasing him.
Yeah.
Anyways, he came when I was in the back of the tanks. He went back there, and he's laughing at me. He goes, "I'm gonna kill you." You know, I didn't say nothing to him because he probably would. You know,
So you took that as a serious threat.
yeah, very serious threat. So, anyways, so me and my homeboy Lefty were out night tripping one night, you know, and we shot up a pad in Alhambra. We jumped in the car and we're driving away, and so I'm speeding, you know, but I made it all the way to the other side of Alhambra, almost on the freeway, the 10 freeway, and I crossed the valley, and there was a cop, an Alhambra cop right there, and he pulled around, pulled me over. He goes, "Why are you going so fast?" And I was like,
I was trying to catch the yellow light, you know. Anyways, he's like, so he's writing me a ticket. And me and my homeboy are just like, okay, so he's writing the ticket. And, you know, he took our license and he, you know, checked us for warrants. So on the microphone, he put that Fernando Negretti and Larry Vasquez are, you know, pulled over and all that. So then all of a sudden it came on the radio, his car radio, saying, oh, there's like 6 shots reported fired on such and such street, da-da-da-da, and he's listening, and they're calling all the cars to go.
Still got juice, you're gonna
And
get
he went back to writing the
get in
ticket.
trouble.
So they got that call late. You know, we're on the other side of Alhambra, you know.
Yeah.
So we look at each other like, you know. And then he was just going to let us go. And here comes McIlvain screeching around the corner from San Gabriel. He goes, hold on, takes out his gun, get him done. This is Fernando Negretti and Larry Vasquez. And he had these 2 cards with their names on it.
Yeah.
They're known gang members. They're known to carry guns.
Get on the
And they're
couch.
probably
Now.
responsible for that shooting that just took place,
Now.
you know? It's like, so back then, all they had to do was put your name on a card and say you're a gangster. And you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, and they searched us illegally. Well, we were guilty, but still, you know?
Yeah.
So they searched the car and found the gun. And he's like, I got your ass. Anyways, should I just keep going? Yeah.
Yeah,
just keep going.
100%, brother.
So anyways, so he went to all my courts, you know? And that's funny. Things are different back then, you know, the way they didn't just lock you up that easy, you know? And in fact, on the transcripts, I had a lawyer friend later look at the transcripts of that court hearing, but McIlvain was at every court just staring at me,
Better not throw up.
you know,
dude.
making gun things like that, you know, like, damn. So I was like, but the judge actually said, she goes, I can't send you boys to prison. Look at you, you're so cute. I guess I was cute back then.
You're cute now,
That's
big dog.
one
Fuck
of
what
the
they
things
talking
you
about.
lose when you get older. Anyways, and what they did, they dropped the charge from attempted murder and all that stuff, shooting at an inhabited dwelling, all that, to you know, discharging a firearm in a city limit, which was a misdemeanor.
Damn, shout out to that judge, bro.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I know her last name wasn't Barker.
It was just not that long ago when we pulled that transcript and saw it, and I was like, oh God, they're not gonna act like that no more. You know, those days are long gone. Oh man, he was so pissed. He got up. You know, they gave me a year in YA.
Okay.
He got up and stormed out, which I ended up turning into 3 years, and that's where my tattoo story actually starts. You know.
How was it going into YA? How old were you at the time?
So I was 18.
You were 18. You going
And, you know, I should have went to prison, you know, because I was, you know, YA is for youth. But if you were up to 23 years old back then and you were arrested for a misdemeanor, they could send an adult to YA.
Wow.
And that's what they did with me and my homeboy. They gave us YA. So, but when I got to YA, you know, and, you know, YA is crazy. You know, it's not cool and calm like prison, you know. It's just like, back then all the gang wars were going on. It's just like, it was trouble. It was a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And anyways, so I ended up going to Preston School of Industry. And so what happened was I met a telephone operator. So we would make calls, you know, home, and we'd use payphones. And you know, Preston was like in a little town up north, and the operators in Stockton, the girls, they could see if the coins were coming from Preston, and they would grab those coins so they could talk to us. So, anyways, I met a girl like that, you know, a telephone operator.
Was she fine or what? Did you end up smacking that shit or what? You know? Let him finish.
No, and you know, she was a nice girl. You know, she wasn't, you know,
Those are the
beauty
ones we
queen.
always try to get.
a beauty queen or anything like that. But I wasn't looking for that. So I was looking for somebody that I could connect with one of the guys from up there, lady, that would get weed and then have her bring me the weed into my visits. And so, you know, And I always, because I could draw and I was always outgoing, I always had a juice cart with the staff, But I would go to my visits, and I'd take a little radio with me. And I had a fingernail cutter, And we'd be sitting out on the grass because it was contact visits. And then she'd give me the bag and I'd unscrew my radio, and then I'd stuff the bag in there and then screw it back up. And then, they would open the tape player and stuff like that, but they wouldn't unscrew the radio.
Yeah.
So every week I was sneaking in bags of dope like that, and then we even got a little more ingenious, So, there was a drug program and it was in the middle of the institution. And the drug program, the way they, ran shit was if they would break you down, So you had to they'd shave off your hair, and you had to wear signs saying, I'm a punk, I'm a bitch, and all this shit. And then they'd build you back up, And they would build you back to the point where they would give you authority. And you would have authority over other kids in that unit. So one of the guys was, one of our guys had a homeboy in there that had the highest authority, where he even searched the packages. So we got these girls on the outside to steam open granola boxes and put, half pounds into these granola boxes and then seal them back up and then mail them into the drug program. And then the guy searching the packages would put those off to the side. And then
sealed.
Yeah, I mean, we were sneaking pounds into that place, and there's only 400 people,
400 higher than a motherfucker.
Oh, man. There was dope everywhere.
Why do all drug programs are the spots to go hit fucking cop some shit, dog? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drug programs.
Anyways, so
you made a lot of money with that.
I made a ton of money because it wasn't that easy to smuggle dope in.
I mean, how would they pay you?
Cash.
Cash.
Yeah, people could, sneak cash in really easily in the visits, because it's contact visits. So everybody was getting cash, and then I would get that cash and then just stick it in an envelope. Back then they had, these rights where they couldn't read your letters. So you could write your letter and then seal it. And they had no right to open it. Anyways, so.
Mail the cash out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was mailing it to my sister,
Bro, so at 18 and to already be thinking like this, do you believe that you were born maybe with something on the Jewish side? I don't know. I'm just saying, the art to just hustle or to make do of whatever's in front of you and just live the best of whatever the environment is. I mean, have you done that since a child or since you ran away from?
Yeah. I think I was just natural streetwise.
Okay.
I've always, took control of my situation in jails, especially with the staff, like in the county jail, I go in there, I paint murals. I draw designs for the sheriffs. They give me food from the streets. They house me with the paisas, you know what I mean? I always had a juice cart, you know what I mean? And the homies like that, because I could do stuff for the homies and,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I always had a good juice cart and I always had things hustling, you can imagine there in YA, all that money I had. I was smoking cigars. I had, you know what I mean? And all the homies, I had lots of friends,
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So, things were going good and I was going to get out actually I had 30 days to go. The problem was, I should have stopped, of course.
You had it too good there. You didn't want to go, right?
I didn't care, I never cared. I was one of those guys, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. But the thing is that I was hooked. I was really hooked. I couldn't go a day without smoking. And I know, it's not supposed to be addictive or whatever, but we were hooked. And we were
off the weed.
Yeah, it was good weed too.
Yeah.
For way back then, it was coming from up north there somewhere. So you know what I mean? I think when they were trying to, nail who they wanted to find whoever was doing this, they didn't suspect me because that girl that came to visit me, they knew she was a phone operator. They knew she was innocent. Somebody told me that when my name came up, they said, no, it's not Negretti. No, that girl is such a good, if she knew he smoked weed, she wouldn't be coming to visit him, So I was off the list, And so anyways, all of a sudden, where I had all the dope was in the gym. And then they closed the gym for a week. I was like, what? All the dopes in the gym, I can't get in there? So I called the girl and I told her, don't bring nothing, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Don't bring nothing on Saturday. Bring it up on Sunday. So Saturday, everything was cool. So she brought it up on Sunday. I put it in the radio, and then they came and they go, Negretti, you and your visit. Come. And I was like, okay. And then they're like, we're told that you have weed in this radio. And I was like, no. Anyways, they opened it up. They saw the weed, and he goes, you motherfucker. And he's fucking smashed it all over the floor. He was so pissed. And he told the girl, you get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? Like, that was a case for her. That's a felony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they were so pissed off with me that they gave me 3 years out of my time in Tamarack program. And that's where the tattooing part comes in. So Tamarack program was a lockup program in Preston. So Preston had the first YA ever. It was like this big haunted castle. Actually, it came, Ghost Hunters?
Yeah.
It came out in Ghost Hunters. Like the guy stayed overnight there and a ghost scratched him and they could hear it screaming.
Yeah.
And we knew about it, and everybody always thought they heard something coming out. Anyways.
So even back then, you guys thought there was ghost.
Yeah, we were told the first thing, everybody said that castle was haunted. It was abandoned, but it was a big castle. It was the very first YA. But in the back of the castle, in a gully, was the lockup program for discipline. And that place was like a dungeon. It was the creepiest, eeriest place ever. It was all granite. Every door was a big steel door with a little square and had little bars in it. You know what I mean? Like,
fuck,
and there was 2 tiers. And that was Tamarack program. And that was for the criminally insane youth authorities, like the hopeless cases.
Yeah, the worst of the worst.
Yeah, and what they would do is they'd send you to prison for a 90-day observation. You go to Tracy Prison, K-Wing, and then they would evaluate you. If they thought that you should go to prison, they would go ahead and send you to prison, give you a B number. Well, back then it was a B number. Or they'd send you back to Tamarack program, and you would do your time in this little lockup. And the staff there they were trippers. They were crazy. But their thing was this, you know what? We'll make a deal with you guys. As long as you don't kill each other, we'll let you, tattoo. We'll bring you pornography. You could lock down in somebody else's cell together, tattoo each other. They gave us all these privileges that were illegal. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's tattoo story in prison is like, and we had to watch out for the guards, Yeah. Mine was like, they let us tattoo. They brought us ink. They brought us needles. And at the same time, we got the pattern how to make, homemade tattoo machines. So, after 2 years, I got really good at tattooing in there. You know what I mean? With a machine,
Yeah, Walkman motor.
Yeah.
Pin cap.
The first rotaries.
First rotaries.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, anyways.
And what kind of tattoos were they getting back then? What was the kind of like? Was it just the same pattern being passed around?
Well, I was drawing. We did have a bunch of patterns. We got patterns where we could. I drew a bunch of them. But so what I started doing was.